This guy was just your average college student. Totally normal life. But then, the world hit the fan absolute. Total catastrophe. Civilization, gone. Reduced to nothing. Out of the ashes. He rises. He becomes a necromancer, leading an undead legion to forge a new order. Today, our protagonist Sung-gu is just heading to class with his buddy Han-ho. Suddenly, Han-ho points at the sky, swearing he sees some kind of loading icon. Sung-gu looks up, but there's nothing there. Zero. Just blue sky. He figures his buddy's been playing way too much mobile gaming lately. Seriously, Han-ho has clearly been glued to his screen for way too long. Everything stays calm until the second period hits. Then, things get weird. A strange notification screen suddenly pops up right in front of Sung-gu. And it's not just him, everyone in the room sees the same bizarre event. The board fills with countless cards, counting down 15 seconds to choose. The heavy-set guy in class gets curious and taps a 2-star warrior card. Instantly, a sword materializes out of thin air and drops right at his feet. Watching that, Sung-gu doesn't hesitate. He picks the 5-star necromancer card. Time hits 0. And the room snaps back to normal. But the tension is thick. Before anyone can process it, a guy nearby gets ambushed out of nowhere. Something unseen lunges, slamming a blade deep into his back. When the creature reveals its hideous face, the whole class loses it. Pure panic. Everyone scrambles for the exit. Terrified out of their minds, the monster charges straight at Sung-gu, aiming to end him right there. But going for our guy? Bad move. He doesn't even flinch. He grabs a chair and smashes it into the thing's head. Lights out. Once the creature drops, a new notification flashes right in his face. It confirms he bagged a goblin 10 gold coins as his reward. The class is stunned. Is this really some kind of level-up game now? Suddenly, the goblin corpse starts smoking with a strange blue haze. In the blink of an eye, the body withers away into a pile of dry bones. That's the power of the necromancer card he just unlocked summoning. Pay attention now, because this is where the real chaos kicks off. Outside, 2 more goblins burst into the classroom, snarling for blood. Sung-gu doesn't waste a second. He immediately gives an order to his skeleton. The system notification pops up again. Congrats on the hunt. You have successfully taken down a goblin. And your reward? 10 gold coins. Everyone watching is absolutely stunned. Could this really be that legendary monster leveling system? The stuff of myths, playing out right in front of them. Suddenly, the goblin carcass Sung-gu just killed starts smoking. Green haze fills the air, and in a heartbeat, it's just bone. That right there is the true power of his soul summoner card. Sung-gu has officially unlocked the ability to raise the dead. A terrifying skill to have in this kind of mess. Outside, 2 more goblins burst into the classroom. Snarling, Sung-gu orders the group to make a run for it. Get out there and take those guys down. He orders his new minion. Whitebone Demon follows the order instantly. Grabbing his blade, he charges into the fray. Holding his own in a heated fight, Whitebone lands a solid stab on one. But then, the other monster slashes his arm clean off in a brutal counter. Seeing the situation turning ugly, Sung-gu tells the fat guy to hand over his sword. The guy refuses, claiming that it is his own personal weapon. Sung-gu fires back. If he has a sword, he should be fighting, not acting like a useless coward. Seriously, he is just completely pathetic. In the end, Sung-gu has no choice but to take matters into his own hands. He grabs a chair and hurls it straight at the monsters. That move drops one of them flat on its face. Whitebone lunges, skewers the last one, and finishes the job instantly. With the monsters dead, Sung-gu collects his reward of 20 gold coins. The hunt was a success. Whitebone walks up, staring at Sung-gu with those hollow eyes. It is like he is asking, "Did you see how well I handled that, boss? But come on. You look way too terrifying. Can you just turn away, boss? Is this how it is? Use me and then just toss me aside? How sad." Once the chaos settles, the teacher asks everyone what exactly just happened. Nobody knows. But the phones are dead. No way to call the police. This monster attack is not just in the classroom. It has turned the entire city into a complete disaster zone. Sung-gu wonders if this is only happening in Korea or spreading across the world. They have to move. And they have to move fast. The goal is the parking lot to grab a vehicle and get out. But the path is already crawling with a horde of bloodthirsty goblins. As soon as they move, The monsters start hunting them down. Just when a girl is about to get cornered, Sungu's white-bone minions swoop in to save her. Sungu shouts for everyone to retreat together while he stays back to hold the line. But pure panic hits, and everyone just scatters in every direction. Honestly, after he warned them, splitting up is just asking for a death sentence. Sungu starts thinking, the school has turned into some kind of monster hunting dungeon. If this is a game, there has to be a set of rules he is forced to follow. He tells them clearly fall back now. He'll hold the line, but panic sets in, and they scatter in every direction. Honestly, what did they expect? Running solo is a death wish. He already warned them. Yet they chose to split up anyway. Just impossible to save people who don't want to be saved. Sungu starts thinking the school is definitely a hunting dungeon now. If this is a game, there has to be a set of rules. A system he needs to figure out if he wants to survive. He's got to follow those mechanics perfectly. Only by mastering this game can he boost his survival odds. Right now, though, one of Sungu's skeletons just lost its head, taken out by a rival in a flash. A notification hits the screen instantly, one of your followers, gone for good. Luckily, the other two skeletons managed to wipe out the enemy. This time, Sungu scores a nice haul of gold for the kill. Plus, he hits level 2 after hunting that goblin down. Check out those stats, 5 points in strength, speed, and durability. Time to pick a random card for his upgrade. I don't know what his luck is like, but he draws a total dud. Barely a tiny bump in mana. At least his squad count grew to 4. So, that's a small win. Man, his mood is sour. He tells his minions to scout the area. Even though he still has no idea what happened to this world, Sungu is playing this smart, making the right moves. As long as he avoids any big mistakes, he'll keep getting stronger. Survival is priority number 1, then he needs a way out. Outside, the world has basically turned into a living hell. Sungu knows he can't just hole up here forever. He decides to make his move, sending 4 minions ahead to scout. Suddenly, a skeleton spots a male student nearby. The guy is terrified, screaming as he swings a knife at the skeleton. Sungu realizes immediately it is Han-Ho, his upperclassman. Han-Ho is panicking, asking what these monsters even are. It is okay. Sungu reassures him they are just his bodyguards. The kid really took a beating, almost getting his skull cracked open. If he wasn't a familiar face, the skeleton would have gone all out. Han-Ho explains that when the notice popped up, he picked a 1-star thief card. He figured lower stars would mean it was safer. Sungu checks Han-Ho's info, and something catches his eye. His skills could actually combo perfectly with the goblins. And here is where things get interesting. Pay attention to this. If they gather the same set of gear, their power multiplies. He feels bad for the guy he had to knock out, but if he wasn't connected to the leader, it would be different. Han-Ho starts explaining his side of the situation. After the message popped up, he picked a 1-star thief card. He figured fewer stars meant an easier time handling things. Pretty logical choice. Honestly, Sungu checks out Han-Ho's stats and skill set. To his surprise, their abilities could actually work together well. If they can collect matching gear, the stat boost would be insane. Their combined strength would multiply, maybe even double. While they talk, the fat guy runs up with news, descending the stairs. They suddenly find their path blocked. A pack of goblins stands there, waiting, and worse, their leader is among them. Massive and terrifying. The 4 skeletons instantly trigger their coordinated skill. It drains 30% of the enemy's power immediately. The goblins start panicking, confused by their sudden weakness. The 2 guys thought this fight would be easy, but the goblin leader just activated nature's wrath. Now, watch this. The tide is about to turn. The goblin minions are instantly buffed and empowered. They're becoming much stronger than they were before. Fast. The 4 skeletons get absolutely crushed in battle. One loses an arm. Another is slammed to the ground. Han-Ho figures it is hopeless and tells Sungu to run, but Sungu stays, watching their opponent with cold focus. He seems to be waiting for one perfect opening. Seeing the leader raise its arm to cast another spell, Sungu immediately signals his skeleton squad to move. One skeleton breaks free, leaping high into the air. With a single, brutal slash of its blade, it severs the goblin leader's hand right off. The creature howls in pure, agonizing pain. It quickly kicks the culprit away in a rage. With the boss wounded, the minions lose their buff. They crumble fast, stripped of their magical strength. The skeleton squad swarms them, turning the tables completely. They beat the goblins into the dirt without mercy. Sung-gu watches the gold and experience points roll in. After cleaning up the minions, the squad regroups. They surround the injured leader to finish it off. And just like that, the boss goes down for good. Player reward 55 gold coins for the kill. Sung-gu immediately starts looting everything in sight. He grabs a boar spear and the leader's bracelet. The spear is just a common breeder basic weapon, pretty useless for his current build, honestly. But the bracelet of nature's soul is different. It is a common item, but it packs a punch. It grants a 20% boost to attack power. Even the skeleton squad is getting stronger now. Their overall combat potential is spiking fast. They just unlocked a brand new party skill. It gives them 10% more strength and attack speed. It lasts 10 minutes. With a 1-hour cooldown, one skeleton looks at its boss with pure loyalty. Sung-gu waits for his moment, then pats the kid on the head. Job well done. The little guy beams, grinning ear to ear. I know you're happy, Sung-gu says. But tone it down. Seriously. Next time, don't go that far. It's getting a little creepy. Han-ho adds, now? Where to? They decide it's time to clear out of this place. A group is gathered on the ground floor. It's still untouched. Sung-gu tells his guys to use stealth, no need to panic the crowd. With that settled, the pair steps out to join the rest of the survivors. A young man steps up to reassure everyone. Don't worry, he says. The police know. The student council is checking things out. A girl suggests just smashing the doors open to make a run for it. The guy shakes his head. People tried. It didn't work. The door won't budge. His name is Lee Jin-suk, a big shot on campus, famous for pestering girls. Spotting Sung-gu and Han-ho heading for the exit, Yin-suk loses it. I told you. Keep away from that door. Catching himself, he adds, sorry. I'm just a little on edge. He eyes their weapons and tells them they should be helping the group. But when he sees Sung-gu's crude spear, he scoffs. What is this? He sneers, you planning to butcher a pig? Jin-suk shows off his 2-star knight card, proud of his sturdy shield. Don't worry, he brags. Just hide behind me. I'll handle the protection. Suddenly, a heavy guy runs over, shouting about goblin sounds upstairs. Jin-suk panics and orders everyone to hide in the coffee shop. Meanwhile, Sung-gu and Han-ho notice something on the door. It's sealed by magic. They have to kill the boss to break the barrier. If they fail within the time limit, the monsters inside just keep getting stronger. Jin-suk sees the warning too, but he's got no intention of fighting. He'd rather just sit tight until the police arrive. He's putting all his faith in the military. But Sung-gu knows better. That's just naive hope. He thinks relying on others is a death sentence. He heard goblin noises echoing from the floor above. Jin-suk tells everyone to keep it quiet and move low. They duck into a nearby cafe to stay out of sight. Meanwhile, Sung-gu and Han-ho are staring at the exit. Turns out the door is sealed tight by some magic. You have to take down the boss to break the barrier. If they can't clear the floor in time, the situation flips. The monsters in the building will just keep getting stronger. A ticking clock of pure dread. Jin-suk sees the same warning text, but he stays passive. He has no intention of fighting, just waiting for backup. Jin-suk is betting everything on the Korean military showing up. He is way too confident in the regular army for this, thinking that's just some naive belief. Relying on nothing. Better to rely on yourself than crush others to get ahead. Just as he moves toward the stairs, a swarm of demons appears. They are flooding down the hallway on the other side. Those aren't demons though, hey. Senior, look closely. That is actually the White Bone Squad under Sung Jin-woo. Jin-suk is terrified, trembling at the sight of these things. But Sung Jin-woo just calmly grabs his spear. Stay steady. Don't worry, Senior. These things aren't monsters. We have to keep our heads clear right now. If a leader loses his mind, everyone here is in real danger. Jin-suk is baffled. Just what is your actual class anyway? Jin-woo just grins. It is something pretty amazing. At his command, the White Bone Squad kicks into gear. They instantly trigger the Death Breath skill. The enemy's strength drops by 30% in a blink. Under this debuff, they don't stand a chance. Our guy Jin-woo sees the opening and moves in fast. He is playing aggressive, snatching every kill he can find. If anyone drops their guard, he claims their life immediately. Two demons realize things have gone south and try to bolt. Too bad for them. The white bone squad already blocked their escape. One of them gets skewered by a blade right then and there. Just like that, logged out of the game permanently. The last one shoves a skeleton aside to make a break for it, but it still cannot escape Jin Woo's incoming spear. Everyone watching starts cheering for the sudden victory. They are all wondering who he is. How is he this strong? Word is, he is just a literature student. Of all things. Meanwhile, Jin Woo is already busy counting up the loot. A system notification pops up. Lucky draw ticket earned. Great work out there. Guys, you all did well. The skeletons seem to appreciate the praise from their boss. They actually giggle, thanking their big brother in command. Jin Woo yells at them, I told you guys not to do that. Once Jin Woo returns with his squad in tow, Senior Jin Suk does not dare to act tough in front of him anymore. Jin Woo quickly gathers everyone together in the room. He explains why they absolutely must hunt down the boss. It is the only way to clear this floor in time. That is the only condition that will force the gate to open. Now watch this, the pressure is really on now. They only have 2 hours left on the clock, so they have to move fast. The sooner they find it, the better for everyone. Time is running out, and they have to hunt that boss down. One young guy raises his hand, claiming he saw something. A monster huge, towering over everything else. It grabbed the teacher right there on the roof. Sung Ho asks if anyone will join him to check it out. Total silence. Not a single person steps forward. Han Ho asks Sung Gu if he can just stay back here. Not a chance. He has to come along. His bone soldiers need a power-up. And he is the key. He begs, crying for mercy. But it makes no difference. No more talking if the boss says move. You move. While he's sobbing, a girl steps into the light. She carries a sword and speaks up, I will go with you. Her name is Jun Jisoo. Only 23 years old. A 3-star hunter, and she is not messing around. She wonders why they are dragging these useless people along. Honestly, the skeletons are more productive than this bunch. Sung Gu turns and asks Jin Suk if he is joining them. He thinks it is safer if he stays behind. After all, someone needs to protect the students left here. With that, the team is set for the rooftop. They head toward the stairs, ready to face the boss. But they don't even make it that far. A swarm of goblins ambushes them. Blocking the path, Jisoo draws her sword, moving like a blur. She is a pro, and she shows exactly why. A few clean, basic strikes, swift and deadly. 3 goblins down in a heartbeat. Just like that. Han Ho stares, eyes wide, totally stunned by her skill. He had no idea Jisoo was this much of a powerhouse. Meanwhile, Sung Gu and his skeletons finish off the rest. Moving forward, they find the teacher lying on the floor. He is still alive, but barely. His breath is shallow. He regrets ever leading his students up to this roof. They got blindsided by a nightmare of a monster. It was terrifying, something they were never prepared for. He grabs Sung Gu, warning him not to go up there. It is a death trap. He has to survive this. And then, his wounds are too much. He passes away. Sung Gu grips his weapon, his knuckles turning white. A sudden prompt flashes right in front of his eyes. A special quest: avenge the professor for the fallen. The reward is an exclusive skill. A total game changer. Even without the quest, Sung Gu was going to kill it. The group reaches the roof, moving with grim resolve. They step out, and the nightmare is waiting for them. The goblins treat the humans like livestock, ready to be eaten. Even Han Ho's own classmates are trapped in this nightmare. Han Ho waves his hand, barking orders for his bone squad to charge. He uses the goblin leader's wristband, buffing his units instantly. 10% extra combat power for the team, and speed gets a 20% boost for the next 20 minutes. These basic goblins stand no chance at all. They get slaughtered in seconds, falling one by one. They simply cannot handle the sheer force of the bone squad. With Sung Gu and Jisoo joining the fray, the tide turns completely. The goblins are getting absolutely wiped out. Every one of them that charges in just finds their end. Han Ho watches this and feels a wave of regret. Why did he ever pick that 1-star card? Back then, he actually thought it looked cool. Frustrated, he hurls his combat dagger in a fit of rage. A sudden, blood-curdling scream echoes through the air. A stray goblin drops dead, taken out by that flying blade. Han Ho remembers something from his childhood now. He was always naturally gifted at throwing things with perfect accuracy. Looks like you guys are done for now. Time to go down for good. Take that. You guys see that skill? He's been holding back this whole time. The goblins can't hold their ground and start retreating. That is when the giant bug finally decides to reveal itself. The goblin subordinates drop to their knees to worship their boss. It is exactly as big as the rumors said, massive. With just a few swings of its club, it smashes Sunggu's bone soldier. Hanho sees an opening and moves for a sneak attack. But that monster just raises its arm and blocks both daggers easily. Now it is furious, chasing Hanho across the battlefield. The guy is running for his life, desperate to escape. Just as the club swings down, Hanho ducks and barely dodges. Seizing the moment, Jisoo dashes in for a critical strike. Sunggu and his 3 followers immediately jump in to help her. Some attack from the front while others flank from behind. The giant bug is completely overwhelmed and distracted. Now, right on cue, Sunggu readies his ultimate move. Ho ducks down, dodging the blow just in time. Jisoo seizes the opening. She swings her blade, landing a lethal strike. Sung Ho and his 3 lackeys jump into the fray, moving fast to back Jisoo up. Some push from the front, while others sneak behind, keeping the monster completely distracted. Watching for the perfect second, Sunggu immediately launches his attack. Last time, he picked a skill that just boosted zombie numbers. One brutal thrust and the boss loses an entire ear. It shrieks in pure, unadulterated rage and agony. But the pain? It just makes the monster even more vicious. Now it's going wild, attacking anyone in reach. Sungho tosses his sword to the one-armed skeleton warrior. That move triggers its hidden skill, one-armed warrior. Meanwhile, Sungho hurls a chair at the beast. As the boss prepares to deflect, Hanho strikes dagger to the hand. She taunts it right to its face. Hey, over here. Catch me if you can. Watching the monster struggle to pull the blade free, Sungho's eyes flash. This is it. He commands his skeleton to sacrifice itself. Farewell, Whitebone, thanks for everything. But get this, the skeleton's blade suddenly shifts direction. It ignores the suicide order entirely. It attacks on its own terms. A single streak of light flashes. The boss's head goes flying right off its neck. Congratulations, player. You've earned 225 gold. With the boss down, a new mark appears on the skeleton's skull. It's leveled up now. It's an elite level 2 skeleton. From a mere soldier, it's evolved into a commander class. Everyone in the fight gets a boost. And Sungho hits level 3. Now, 5 random upgrade cards appear before them. Last time he picked a skill to increase his zombie count. This time, he draws a skill to craft weapons from human bone. It lets him forge gear from the remains of the dead. Quality depends entirely on the bones he uses. Then, a system notification pops up: Revenge Quest complete. The reward is a unique skill, Destiny. You see, your destiny has shifted slightly, it tells him. Sungho is confused. What does that even mean? He's totally lost. But Hanho pulls a new item, the Rogue Cloak. It's a game changer, boosts stealth against monsters by 50%. But this time, he rolled a skill to craft weapons from human bones. You can forge gear from the remains of the dead. The final product totally depends on the quality of the bones you find. Congrats, you finished the Revenge Quest. Your reward is a unique skill. Your destiny has changed slightly. Sunggu just stares, confused. What's that even mean, destiny changing? He doesn't get it at all. Meanwhile, Hanho pulls a new item, an assassin's cloak. Its effect boosts your stealth against monsters by 50%. He's the clear leader of this little group. Suddenly, Di-sung spots the skeleton squad. What are these monsters? Sunggu explains it's his soul-calling skill. Di-sung says if Sunggu wants to join them, he has to ditch the skeleton team. To him, they look like nothing but weird, freakish monsters. Man, using this thing for a sneak attack? Absolutely broken. And look at that, the monsters are coming for us. Meanwhile, Jisoo manages to pull a red crystal called a fire starter. If you sharpen your blade with this stone, it gets a massive buff. You get free fire damage on every hit, basically free fire. Yeah, you heard me right, free fire for everyone. With the loot secured, the group heads back down to the ground floor. But down there, everyone is already tearing each other apart over Sunggu. They're all arguing that they should have followed Sunggu instead of listening to Jin-suk. Yin-suk loses it, screaming at them to shut up. He says he protected them. So why are they still barking? If they hate it here so much, they can just go die on the roof, just like that bastard Sunggu. But hold on, what's that sound? Someone just smacked him right in the face. And yeah, someone just clocked him. How's that for a wake-up call? Turns out, as soon as Sunggu and his skeleton squad show up, Jinsuk goes dead silent. The magic curse lifted the second that insect monster went down. The doors swing wide open, and everyone rushes out into the light. The 5 skeletons take the lead, carving a path through anything in their way. If something gets in their face, they just smash it to pieces. Once the coast is clear, Sungu signals for the rest of them to move. The road ahead is littered with the corpses of unlucky students. Pretty quickly, they run into a group of survivors up ahead. Just looking at their blood-stained weapons, you know they aren't pushovers. They're the ones who managed to survive the fight against the goblins. Suddenly, Jinsuk pushes to the front of the pack. Turns out, he actually knows the guy with the white hair. He calls him Senior, saying he knew he'd make it out alive. Jisoo lets it slip. That's Park Desung, the student council president. Seems like he's running the show for this entire survivor group. Desung's eyes lock onto Sungu's skeleton squad. He asks what the deal is with those monster-looking things. Sungu keeps it real, explaining they're just his soul summoning skills. But Desung drops an ultimatum if Sungu wants to join them. He has to ditch the skeletons. In his eyes, they're nothing but hideous, freakish monsters. Watching Desung talk trash about the skeleton squad, Hanho completely loses his cool. Hearing Desung badmouth his squad, Hanho instantly loses his cool. Just as he's about to charge, Sungu holds him back. No one gets close. He's already planned to lure the snail beast into the woods. Using the thick terrain, Hanho immediately throws a dagger, catching the beast off guard. Over here, all 5 skeletons fire their blades at the target simultaneously. The snail, too busy blocking, leaves its weak point wide open. In a flash, 2 skeletons pin its arms down tight. Then, Sungu swings his sword, slicing the snail's right claw clean off. Finally, the young man cuts the head off, finishing it for good. Calling this guy a freak? Are your eyes failing you or what? Sung-hoon is never abandoning his white bone squad. They are his weapons. Jisoo pulls her sword out immediately. We never asked to join you guys. You really are the student council president for physical education? Jisoo, join my team, or you are going to regret this. Stop the fake moral act. Do you think I have no idea? I am the one who exposed you online for forging school receipts, stealing millions of won right under everyone's noses. So that is how it is. Fine. I will not stop you people anymore. Afterward, Sung-hoon's group splits away from the others. Jisoo reveals that Desung is pure scum, using his position to prey on female students all over campus. Some of Jisoo's own juniors were victims. It is sickening. Now, everyone needs to get out of this school fast. Stay away from the crowds, because that is exactly where the monsters hunt. Sung-hoon suggests taking the trail behind the school. It is deserted. Just as they reach the stairs, they spot something. A snail, and this thing is way bigger than the goblin boss. It locks onto them as prey and charges straight at the group. Sung-hoon shouts for everyone to move. Watch out. Then he commands his strongest subordinate to engage the beast. The one-armed whitebone is fast. It dodges the attack easily. Seeing an opening, it strikes back, drawing first blood from the snail. Jisoo is about to charge in, but Sung-hoon stops her. He tells them to stay back. He has a plan to lure it. They are headed for the dense woods to use the terrain. Hanho immediately throws daggers to distract the monster. Meanwhile, all 5 white bones start raining swords down on it. The snail is too busy blocking and leaves a massive opening. Now watch this. 2 white bones pin its arms down hard. Sung-hoon swings his blade, severing the snail's right arm clean off. Finally, our guy finishes it off with one brutal strike to the head. Congratulations. The player has successfully hunted the giant snail. Congrats, player successfully hunted the snail boss. Hey, you pigs over there, get over here now. The snail's crew, furious, charges in, ready to end him right then and there. The dense forest around Hanho turns into a battlefield instantly. Throwing knives fly as the bone constructs swarm the monster. They unleash a rain of blades from every direction. The beast focuses on parrying, leaving a massive opening. In a blink, 2 skeletal figures pin it down tight. Sungu swings his sword hard, slicing off its right wing. The creature struggles, but it's finished. Yang Guo finishes the job, landing the final blow. A system message pops up. The first elite monster is down. After clearing the quest, Sung-ho bags his reward of 110 gold coins. He tries to summon the snail, but it fails. His current level just isn't high enough to revive those mid-tier monsters. Undeterred, he tests out his brand new skill bone weapon crafting. The femur bones of the fallen snails instantly snap together. They reshape into heavy-duty hammers. Sung-ho hands one out to each of his teammates. Even his lackeys get their own gear to help out. The set bonus is wild. 5% extra crit rate plus 10% damage. He suddenly tosses a bone sword over to Han-ho. The kid starts thanking him profusely. Sung-ho cuts him off. It is just a loan. He better pay it back the moment he is done with it. They quickly head down the stairs toward the main road. But out of nowhere, a massive sealed door blocks their path. A system message pops up. They have to take down the boss within 8 minutes. If they fail, the monsters in the area go into overdrive. The warning is clear. The snails are going to start hunting them down actively. They track by scent. And the stronger the prey, the more monsters show up. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream echoes through the hall. The group assumes the student council guild just got caught in a trap. Before they can even check it out, Han-ho spots a pack of 5 snails closing in. Han-ho turns to Sung-ho, voice shaking. Should they just bolt? But Sung-ho is already thinking 3 steps ahead. He decides to use the environment to lure them into a trap. A few moments later, the 5 snails reach the parking lot. A figure suddenly leaps onto the roof of a car. It is Han-ho, taunting them. Hey, you pigs! Get over here. The snails take the bait and charge, heads full of rage. They don't realize they are running straight into Sung-ho's ambush. Now watch this. The whole squad swarms out at once. They start slamming those bone hammers down without missing a single beat. With those 5 snails wiped out, Sung-ho hits level 4. He can finally control up to 7 monsters at once. Han-ho gets lucky too, picking up a new rogue skill called Super Slash. You pigs! Get over here! Now! The other monsters charge in, looking to tear them apart. But they're running straight into Sung-gu's trap. His team springs from the shadows, ready for blood. They swarm the monsters, hammering them with bone weapons. Not a single one escapes this brutal beatdown. 7 monsters eliminated and Sung-gu levels up to 4. He can now control 7 summons at once. Han-ho gains a new rogue skill Supercut. Just when the team looks doomed, a bus roars onto the scene. It has a catch. This skill only works with 1 weapon, a dagger. Only a dagger. Meanwhile, Jisoo gets a massive boost to her physical stats because her body has been fully enhanced. Since the rogue class only allows daggers, Han-ho has to return the sword to the Divine Eagle Knight. With the loot sorted out, the whole team hits the road again. They keep pushing forward, steady and focused. After walking for a bit, they spot a pack of zombies swarming a bus. There are 7 of them in total. The team instantly shifts gears, mapping out a plan to save everyone. This time, Sung-gu is about to show them the raw power of human civilization. The people inside that bus, they are panicking, totally losing it. See, their strongest fighter is only a 1-star class. Just as they think it is game over, the Whitebone team comes barreling in. The zombies don't even see them coming, caught totally off guard. They get absolutely hammered by the group. It is not even a fair fight. A guy in the bus peeks out the window to see what is happening and gets the shock of his life. Han-ho shouts out that they are safe now, telling them to open the door so they can finally get out. To thank them, the survivors show Han-ho how to grab items from a glowing screen. Welcome to the E-Rank store. Traveler, hit any button to continue. You have 3 tiers to choose from for the lucky draw: bronze, silver, and gold. Bronze costs 100 coins. Silver is 1,000. And gold? 10,000. Han-ho is holding 360 coins. Jisoo has 584. Then Sung-gu drops the bomb. He has over 1,500 coins. Enough for a silver tier pull. He goes for it. And his luck is insane. He hits first place. He gets his hands on the Tear of the Ocean Orb, a legendary item. 300 mana, plus a 200% mana recovery boost. Unbelievable stats. Sung-gu goes again and lands a shield. Jisoo pulls a long-range sword. Poor Han-ho. His luck is just bad. He only gets a C rank. Magic potion. Meanwhile, back at the student union, 7 zombies have them totally surrounded. Even though they are fighting back with everything they have, the power gap is just too wide. At this rate, it is only a matter of time before they fall. It slams into the horde, sending them flying everywhere. It's Sung-gu and the survivors they just rescued. Jisoo leaps into the fray to handle the remaining monsters. She strikes her blade against a flint, flames erupt. With one clean swing, she wipes them off the map. These skeletal warriors are getting smarter by the second. They've stopped charging blindly. Opting for long-range tactics, they keep their distance, pelting the enemies with throwing knives. If one runs out, another rushes to grab the blades. Talk about teamwork, they're recycling their own ammo. No matter how tough a monster is, it can't survive 10 knives in its back. Desung finally realizes they've been saved by Sungu's group. He tries to act buddy-buddy, asking why they showed up so late. This guy completely forgot how he threw everyone to the wolves earlier. Sungu isn't having it. He remembers how Daesung abandoned those bus survivors. Suddenly, a red system alert flashes across the sky. The boss monster is losing its mind over this failed hunt. Sungu shouts for everyone to get on the bus. They need to clear out of here fast. Desperate, Daesung begs Sungu to take him along. Sungu looks at him. Cold, you want a seat on this bus? Hand over your armor first. Get out of here as fast as you can. Daesung sees that. He begs Sungu to let him tag along. He tells him, if he wants a seat, he needs to hand over that armor. Raw on here, not exactly the type to sacrifice himself for others. That is just not how he operates. Anyway, White Skeleton has finally secured that new armor. It is a bit loose on him. Tour. But this is the guy, the one Sungu trusts more than anyone else in his party. So he decides to pour every item he has into upgrading him. Since the poor kid is missing an arm, he gives him a nickname. Straight to the point, he calls him Right Hand. Back in the vehicle, Sungu takes a second to check his status. He has officially leveled up to level 5. Now, his limit has increased, letting him summon 9 undead followers. Plus, he has gained the ability to capture and control one boss. A mid-tier monster joins their squad, but then the board pulses. A notification flashes bright. The boss monster has locked on. It is hunting them down. Pure slaughter is all it wants. They all know the truth, there is no running from this. Sung-ho steps up. He rallies their spirit, pushes them to fight. Only one path left. Destroy it, or they are all dead. They have to take it down if they ever want to be safe. A young guy drops a bombshell. He claims he saw an entire horde. We are talking about a massive swarm. Over 100 of them. Everyone in the truck freezes. You can practically hear their hearts stopping. 100 monsters? That is insane. There is no way they survive that. Sungu sees the fear and decides to handle this solo. Why drag them along? These people are just dead weight compared to his squad. He is already counting on his bone soldiers. They are worth 10 of these guys. Jisoo tries to stop him. Desperate, she knows how dangerous this is. But he just tells her to relax. He is not doing anything reckless. He has a plan. He is actually thinking this through. With that, Sungu says his goodbyes and marches off with his undead crew. They step away from the convoy, leaving the others behind in the dust. Soon enough, the swarm shows up. It is a terrifying sight. The people in the truck don't get close, they are just watching from a distance. That one with the flaming red hair? That is the leader of the pack. It lets out a signal, and the rest of them swarm forward like a tide. The attack is relentless. They are moving so fast. Sungu has already picked his spot high ground. Perfect for defense. It is the ultimate position. Easy to hold. Impossible to break. The first few monsters charge in, straight into a trap. His bone soldiers are ready. They start pelting them with flying blades. Anything that isn't dead on impact, they finish it off with a heavy club. Brutal. And they don't stop until the target stops moving. But the horde is relentless. The pressure is starting to mount. One of his lieutenants is getting restless hands on his blade, ready to fight. Sungu stops him cold. Not yet, he has a different play in mind. After his last breakthrough, he can finally raise mid-level monsters. And now, he starts turning the fallen enemies into his own personal army. Watch this, the dead monsters are rising back up as his minions. The combo effect triggers, and the field starts to shift. They are stronger now, 10% more power, 15% faster speed, and this buff lasts for 10 solid minutes. It is game over for the horde. These bone soldiers are different from the living monsters. They are already dead, so they do not feel pain or fatigue. They just keep going. While the living swarm tires out, his squad stays fresh. That is the moment they have been waiting for, the big counterattack. Everything starts to turn around. The tide is finally shifting. Thanks to that legendary orb boosting his mana, he can control them all easily. Now, his lieutenant is finally in the mix. tearing through the lines. Every swing of that blade cuts a path through the swarm. It is pure carnage. The horde is getting absolutely decimated. 100 monsters. And now? They are almost completely wiped out. As Sungwoo starts checking his loot, things back at the truck take a turn. Those students are suddenly panicked, screaming about some massive threat coming their way. The system pings again. The boss is peeking. It is massive. Guy couldn't help but show off. And well, you know how that ends. Got himself trapped by those snails. This lot is nothing but trouble. They cause more chaos than they're worth. Sungho and the team have to infiltrate the snail lair, all just to rescue his sorry hide. Turns out that red-headed snail from earlier wasn't the main threat. That was just a commander. This one right here, the real boss. Once they spot the team, the two idiots, Da-sung and Jin-suk, start bawling their eyes out, crying and screaming for someone to save them. Please, help us, we don't want to die. They beg. Sungwoo just snaps, furious. Shut your mouths. Your selfishness is the only reason the whole group is in this mess. It's finally time for them to pay the price for their own reckless, stupid behavior. Then, the boss starts doing something strange. A weird energy pulses off its body. Everyone feels it instantly, like their life force is being drained right out of them. A notification flashes. You've fallen into a weakened state from the Hellbreath skill. Now, the real boss reveals itself, a Devil Master grade snail. Luckily, Han-ho grabbed the medkit, so he's got the antidote ready. He checks on Sungwoo, asks if he needs it, but the guy tells him to worry about the others first. See, that Hellbreath doesn't weaken a necromancer like Sungwoo. Instead, it actually boosts his mana to a whole new level. The boss starts panicking. Oh no! How is this happening? My debuff just turned into a massive buff for this guy? Sungwoo's mana is skyrocketing, now feels like he turned on a cheat code. Even his White Bone squad is soaking up the power, getting stronger. The result? The boss gets absolutely swarmed by the skeleton pack. Its body gets torn to pieces in seconds, shredded completely. System alert: you've successfully hunted a Devil Master boss. You just banked 1,150 gold coins. After absorbing the energy, his right-hand man ranks up to level 3. Now, he's a commander-grade goblin with an immortality trait. Sungwoo finds something hidden inside the boss's mouth. A legendary grade devil bloodstone. Anyone holding this gains a wicked passive when an enemy's mana runs dry. It drains every ounce of their remaining strength. Hunt complete. And that magic seal on the door? It's finally breaking down. It has evolved into a spirit-type elite. A commander-rank beast with an immortality trait. But Sungho finds something deep inside its maw. It is an item, hidden right there in the boss's throat. A legendary grade devil bloodstone. The real deal, whoever holds it gets the devil effect. A terrifying power. Once an enemy runs out of mana, it starts to drain. It sucks up their remaining strength dry. The boss hunt is done. He uses magic to seal the door. A clean finish. The lockdown finally lifts. Everyone is free to leave the school at last. They step out into the streets, moving fast, scanning the area, and they realize the truth: this city is crawling with monsters. Some are massive, absolutely insane monsters, strong enough to toss a bus. Sungwoo realizes something heavy: his power. Still nothing against these things. He knows the reality. He's just not strong enough yet. He tells the group they have to adapt to this nightmare. Hunt the most dangerous prey. That's the only way to rank up. Humanity will rule this earth again, because we can adapt to anything. We just need to survive. Along the way, Sungwoo and his White Bone squad take down a few stray goblins. These ones are low level, but there are so many of them. Little by little, it adds up and he hits level 6. The problem? The money is trash. He's barely making a dent in his costs. A single goblin only drops 10 gold coins. Compare that to the 80 coins a boss gives, it's nothing. They finally reach the main road. A total war zone lies ahead. Looks like the Korean military clashed with a horde of these monsters. Sungwoo's group spots them right away. A few soldiers actually manage to survive. Their leader is Sergeant Kim, but he's hurt bad, his leg is crushed. Sergeant Kim explains what went down. Their unit got ambushed by a massive swarm of goblins. And here is the kicker in the middle of the fight. Their guns just stopped working. No one knows why it happened. The army had to switch to melee, and they got absolutely overwhelmed. Sungwoo hands over one of Han-ho's health potions. A fair trade for info. Sergeant Kim starts talking. He saw wolves the size of bulls out there. The military couldn't even touch them. Those beasts wiped out an entire platoon on their own. Then Kim mentions a mysterious blue QR code. It's scattered at parking lots along the road, and inside the high-speed rail station too. He tells them to scan it with their phones. A hidden app installs automatically. It's a community app for survivors. The only way to stay connected when everything else is gone. The gears had finally stopped grinding. Just after he got what he needed, Sung-ho hands over the healing potion to Sergeant Kim. Before heading out, he gives them a serious warning. Watch the skies, they need to be extra careful up there. Because lurking above are these massive monsters, flying beasts, and trust me, they're incredibly dangerous. Following Sergeant Kim's directions, the team moves fast. Sung-woo finds the QR code and scans it right away. An app instantly installs itself on his phone. But get this, posting anything on here costs a fee. 1,000 gold coins. That is equivalent to hunting 100 goblins. It is not cheap. Sung-woo spots a post recruiting survivors. They are heading to a safe zone base. The Hoa Zonghan apartment complex, that is the location, since that building is right near his home. Sung-woo decides to go, but for some reason, something feels off to him. The whole situation feels strange. Almost too good to be true. Are they really wasting that much gold just to help strangers? Sung-woo even notices a few comments that were recently deleted. The poster claims they were just spam, but he brushes it off, telling everyone not to worry. Just head to the safe base, that is the message. Elsewhere, a man and his young daughter are trapped. Goblins are swarming them, closing in from every side. He swings his club around in pure, desperate terror. Is anyone there, please? Someone save my daughter. Just as the goblins surge forward, ready to strike, a dagger flies through the air, piercing one of them. It is Sung-woo. He has arrived just in time. He saves the pair and clears the immediate threat. He even shares some canned food with them. When he mentions heading to the basement, the father stops him. He warns that the basement is a death trap. Terrifying monsters are lurking down there. He says, scary monsters. Huh. Sung-woo thanks him for the tip. Regardless, Sung-woo and his group head down into the dark. Inside, it is a massive nest filled with slimes. They are easy to kill, but the smell? Absolutely disgusting. Suddenly, the boss, the elder slime, makes its entrance. To his surprise, the creature's slime begins to melt bone. It is eating away at Sung-woo's undead minion. A warning flashes: your follower has returned to the void. Without missing a beat, he tosses a piece of corroded bone. The elder slime sees it coming and lunges to absorb it. Thu never saw it coming. This was Sung-woo's plan all along. Using his weapon crafting skill, he took the bones from Zung-an. He transformed that skeleton into a ticking time bomb. The bomb detonated from the inside, tearing the slim elder apart. The beast exploded into pieces. Finally, Sung-woo got his reward. 2,275 gold coins. Not a bad payout for taking down a boss like that. He tells his men to gather up the slim slime. You never know, that stuff might come in handy later. From the remains of the elder, Sung-woo spots something odd. It is the core of the slim elder. Inside sits a massive amount of concentrated acid. The stuff is incredibly corrosive, eats through anything. With this core, he can melt or assemble any hard material. Meanwhile, Han-ho is scrolling through his phone. He notices something strange. Comments are disappearing from the posts. The comment section is being scrubbed. Sung-ho already suspects something fishy is going on. Nobody just hands out 1,000 gold coins to help strangers. It is all a trap. And now, the plot becomes clear. They are baiting survivors. They want them to come to the apartment complex to strike. The gang is discussing their next move. Kill a survivor. Get a 5 to 1,000 gold coin reward. The mastermind behind this? The big boss of the gang. But even he is just taking orders from someone else. A henchman gets curious and asks who the boss really is. The boss just grips his head, shaking with pure terror. He whispers that the owner is a cultist, a serial killer, the most dangerous man that bald guy has ever met. Suddenly, the goons spot their target on the move. 3 people are heading through the park right now. The crew jumps in their car and hits the gas. Their 17th victim is entering the apartment complex. It is an open area, the perfect place to set a trap. Everyone living in those apartments knows better than to interfere. They keep their heads down and stay silent. A moment later, they spot the 3 figures on the road. The driver doesn't hesitate, he floors it, aiming straight for them. He is ready to run them down without a second thought. But he has no idea what he is about to hit. Those 3 people on the road? They aren't who they look like. Suddenly, he drives a dagger into 3 of them. But somehow, those 3 were nothing more than decoys. The skeleton soldiers Sunggu built caught them, straight into a trap. Our boss had them cornered. Sunggu drags him right out of the car. He's furious, screaming at Sunggu, "You bastard. You have any idea who we work for?" But before he can even finish his sentence, he takes a kick, square in the face. Sunggu asks how many subordinates. "Talk, or I will crush your skull right here." The boss thinks Sunggu is just bluffing. He's still acting tough. "Stop trying to scare me. You're just a kid. You don't have the guts to kill." But as soon as those words leave his mouth, his right hand gets sliced off. Clean cut. "Sure, I'm not cruel enough to kill," he says, "but my minions, they're a different story." Sung-ho turns to threaten the underlings start talking. "How many? Don't want to lose your hands like the bald guy? Better start answering." The guy is terrified. Spills everything. There are 8 of them. The second he finishes, the boss wipes him out instantly. Nobody expected the guy to be that ruthless. He's actually drinking his own underling's blood right now, laughing like a maniac. Ha ha ha. That's the taste. It's perfect. Once he drinks the blood, his speed and durability skyrocket. His original class, ninja. But from the moment he met his master, he became a vampire. And here's the catch: once you're a vampire, you can't level up by hunting monsters anymore. You have to consume human blood to survive. Now the boss activates his wild state. Every single stat jumps up by 20%. Sung-ho immediately orders his Whitebone squad to charge in. Time to test the guy's real strength, but his speed? It's unreal. The skeletons can't even track him. In the blink of an eye, he shreds 2 bone warriors and rockets, straight at Sung-ho, with terrifying speed. Good thing Sung-ho picked up that shield earlier. The attack slams into it, total failure. Jisoo and Han-ho dive into the fight now. Meanwhile, the kid just hangs back in the shadows, tossing daggers. Cheap shots from the dark. It's driving the vampire absolutely crazy. Just fakes a trap. So he decided to shift his target straight to Han-ho. The second Han-ho was in danger, Tae-Fi stepped in. He arrived just in time to rescue his teammate from death. The group teamed up, launching a barrage of attacks on the vampire. Forced on the defensive, Tae-Fi saw his opening and struck. With a single motion, he severed the monster's remaining left arm. Surrounded by the whole squad, Sung-ho moved in for the finish. With one clean swing, he sent the creature's head flying. The reinforcements arrived just in time to see the carnage unfold. Terrified out of their minds, they dropped their weapons to the floor. They surrendered instantly, spilling everything they knew about their Dark Order. They claimed they always followed orders from a mysterious figure known as Boss. No one had a clue if this boss was human or monster. His power level was a total mystery to all of them. Sung-ho demanded to know exactly how many people they had killed. One thug, shaking with fear, admitted it was over 20 lives. Hearing that, Sung-ho's eyes suddenly flared with cold, murderous intent. He didn't hesitate. He ordered the skeleton squad to wipe them out. He ignored their pathetic pleas for mercy as they begged for their lives. Jisoo and Han-ho were shocked, calling the move way too cruel. It was a brutal call to make, even in this broken world. But Sung-ho stood his ground. He wasn't going to show them mercy. If these monsters lived, more innocent people would definitely pay the price. They rested up for the night, letting the adrenaline finally fade away. By morning, the group was back on the road to their next goal. By the afternoon, they finally reached Han-ho's family apartment building. Han-ho was a nervous wreck, terrified about his parents back home. He had no idea if they were even still alive. All the way there, he was praying to every god he could think of, just desperate for any kind of miracle to keep them safe. Luckily, when the door swung open, his parents were perfectly fine. The team stayed for dinner, sharing a meal with Han-ho's family. His dad bragged about how he fought off a monster yesterday. Apparently, he chased the thing away with just a can of bug spray. You really have to hand it to him, that is absolute guts. After dinner, Han-ho's mom served tea to thank them properly. She was just relieved to have her boy home in one piece. In her eyes, Han-ho is just a total troublemaker who needs help. Without this crew, he would have been dead a long time ago. After a shower, Jisoo borrowed some pajamas from the family to wear. To the mom, she looked like such a quiet, fragile little girl. She had no clue Jisoo could slice through monsters like cutting fruit. The group discussed their next move. Staying here just wasn't enough. They all knew they couldn't just sit and wait for the end. They had to pack up and push toward the final destination. These brainless scouts are definitely here to gather intel. If there is a nest nearby, they will swarm it soon. Suddenly, Han Hao spots something on the survival app. A new post just went up. And get this, the person posting is the district prosecutor. They claim to have built a secure base. They are actively recruiting survivors to join them. Reading the comments, people are already flocking to it. But here is the problem: that area is way too far. It is impossible for Han Hao and his group to reach. Quickly, Han Hao finds another post. It says there is a safe shelter over in Hwasong. They are looking for new members to join their ranks. Hwasong is not too far from Han Hao at all. Just a 20-minute drive and they will be there. So, Sunggu decides this will be their next destination. The group sets it as their primary target. No time to waste, they gear up, ready to move out. Even Han Hao's parents are coming along with the team. His dad warns everyone to watch out for local thugs. They keep circling this area, robbing anyone they see. And sure enough, the thugs show up right on cue. Looking at their faces, these guys are just high schoolers. They start throwing threats around like they own the place. Pay up. They bark, donate to us right now. A little bit of food, or some high-value gear. Do you understand the rules of the game? But as soon as they finish talking, the whole group bolts. Behind them, a pack of giant wolves has just arrived. Close quarters combat against beasts is pure nightmare fuel. One wrong move and you are done for. Claws, fangs, raw power. Humans are at a total disadvantage. A wolf's spine stays parallel to the ground. Humans, our spines are vertical, which is a massive liability. If you trip, you lose your balance instantly. If they strike while you are down, it is game over. After circling their prey, the wolves finally move in. Sunggu immediately hurls a bottle of slime at the leader. The corrosive sludge hits, melting the creature's face away. Talk about a brutal reaction. Next, he orders the bone squad to keep their distance. They rain down a volley of bone shards from afar. As the pack lunges closer, Sunggu and his team strike back. They douse the charging beasts in more of that slime. Any wolf caught in the blast is as good as dead. The slime loses its ability to fight for a moment. Right then, Taepil jumps in to claim the kill. Nice work. You earned 240 gold from the wolf pack. That wipeout pushed Sungwoo up to level 7, but his soul summoning skill still isn't enough to control a wolf. The next morning, the group gets close to the safe zone, but giant winged lizards are blocking the path. Sung Ho tells everyone to rest up for the night ahead. Once darkness falls, the lizards on the roof drift off. Suddenly, the cards appear again. Choose a card linked to your job. 15 seconds left. A card right in front of Sungwoo vanishes. Someone else took it. He needs a card that meshes perfectly with his summoner job. He makes his pick, Dark Mage. This grants a new skill, Death Aura, boosting his undead minions. Hanho took too long, and the good cards are already gone. He ends up with a 1-star priest card. Pretty weak. Honestly, Hanho's father lands a 3-star Vanguard card. His mother? She gets a 1-star chef card. Jisoo snags a 3-star assassin card with elite instincts. It is a passive skill that sharpens all her senses in a pinch. Sungwoo asks the father to explain his ability. He can create a safe zone, shielding everyone from monster attacks. It works within a 200-meter radius. With that, they do not even need to head for the safe base. Right then, the winged lizards wake up and fly off to hunt. The group finally dares to move back toward their lair, but as they head back, the air starts to shift. Sung Ho picks the Vanguard card. 3 stars. A solid start. Han Ho's mom pulls a 1-star cook card. Not exactly built for war. Finally, Jisoo grabs the 3-star assassin card. With elite senses, a passive skill that is a game changer. It amplifies every single sense they have, essential for surviving those high-stakes, life or death situations. After that, Sung Ho asks the older man to break his skill down. He can build a safety zone, a shield against incoming monsters. Any attack aimed at them, it just bounces right off. The effective range holds steady at 200 meters. Now watch this with that barrier. They do not need the base. They can skip the trip to the base in Hwasong entirely. High above, the flying lizards wake up and take to the sky, heading off into the distance to track down their next meal. That group of punks finally gets the nerve to crawl back home, back to the heart of their lair. But something feels wrong. The air here, it is heavy, because they missed their deadline. Things have taken a dark turn. One member of the bike gang has been twisted, transformed. Now he is a vampire. And this monster starts talking. He reveals that his boss is watching them. Always watching. They have a mission: hunt for resources. Or else 10,000 gold in 2 days. Or the boss wipes them out, every single one of them. Just as that sinks in, Sung-ho walks in. He clocks the vampire right away. The tension hits the ceiling. Sung-ho thinks fast. This guy is definitely a threat. It's all tied to that mysterious boss. The vampire lunges instantly, attacking Sung-gu. But wait, the White Bone Squad grips both his arms tight. Sung-gu drives his sword straight through the vampire's neck. Even so, that life force is insanely strong. In a flash, he breaks free from the bone grip. Watching that, Hanho fires throwing knives from a distance. It creates the perfect opening for Jisoo to hack off his left arm. Flint effect activates, his arm is instantly consumed by fire. Finally, Sung-gu's crew pummels him without missing a single beat. The vampire has to call a timeout. Desperate to talk it out, he screams out, "What do you guys even want from me?" Inside, he's plotting. Sung-gu only controls dry bones. Right? He thinks he's not good at close combat. If I land a sneak attack, I can kill him instantly. But Sung-gu reads him like an open book. He just tells his guys to beat him into the dirt again. The vampire still refuses to spill any useful intel. So Sung-gu tells Jisoo to send him packing for good. You just gained 322 gold from killing a player. Only now do those punks realize Sung-gu's group is stacked with experts. All the gold they worked so hard to save? Gone. Confiscated. After 2 fights with these vampires, Sung-hoon realizes something huge. This species has built an entire system out there. It's not just the mysterious boss. Even the underlings can multiply. Most monsters have a limit. But not these vampires. They spread as fast as a virus. Just one of them took the whole team so much time to clear. If they swarmed the group all at once, it would be game over. That realization hits hard. They need to get stronger. Fast. Suddenly, a red notice screen flashes right in front of them. What happens to the people who didn't pick a card? You had 2 chances to become a player and you refused. Now, there is a price to pay. You have to become a monster. Just as expected. A few from the punk group start to change. Right there, they transform into monsters, losing everything they were. If those monsters swarm them in a group, they are totally finished. Everyone needs to get way stronger. And they need to do it fast. Just then, a bright red alert message flashes across the screen. What happens to the people who refuse to pick a card? If you turn down the chance to become a player, you made a choice. He gave them 2 chances to join, but they turned them both down. So now, there is only one path left for them. They become monsters. And sure enough, the ones who didn't pick are starting to shift, right in front of the group. Those punks are mutating into straight-up beasts. Sung-gu finds a way to command his right hand. Destroy them, and you just banked 3,000 gold from that hunt. Well done. Player, you've just leveled up to 8. Sung-gu grabs a random level-up card from the deck. 3 points in agility, a solid boost for hitting level 8. Now, with his new power, Sung-gu can summon from the werewolf corpses. Just like that, his army grows with 3 fresh bone wolf thralls. These guys are absolute beasts on the battlefield. They're strong enough to solo a vampire without breaking a sweat. Sung-gu turns to Blondie. Tell me, where is the vampire hideout? Blondie spills the secret. It's hidden inside an old car dealership. The manager's running the place? Pure evil. Anyone who fails to pay their gold quota gets drained dry. They don't just kill you, they feed until you're nothing. A bloodbath waiting to happen. Before long, the whole group arrives at that rundown shop, right in front of them. Chaos is breaking out. A rampaging bear and a vampire are locked in a brutal clash. Looks like the bear belongs to some player who got a beast form card. That vampire's claws are tearing through the bear's hide, leaving deep gashes. But this bear isn't backing down. It swings back hard. A massive, bone-crushing blow lands square on the vampire. Both of them are hurt, bleeding out, and reaching their limit. They let out a final, furious roar, ready to end this now. This is it. Watch the timing on this turn. Sung-gu signals his squad to move in and steal the kill. They jump on the vampire, snuffing out its life in one go. Now the bone wolves are locked in a fight with that injured bear. Since the bear's already half dead, it doesn't stand a chance. It goes down fast, and Sung-gu cashes in again. 3,500 gold. Straight into his inventory. And just like that, Sung-gu successfully summons the bear thrall too. Talk about a lucky pull, he just snagged a legendary item. A masterclass skill upgrade ticket. Use this. And a random skill jumps straight to master level. No special training required, just instant. Broken power. Its massive size is enough to terrify even the bone-headed brutes. Just as the group readies to depart, that mysterious boss takes over a young girl. She is part of that band of local punks. And that host? He is deeply curious about who killed his lackeys. That is when he locks eyes on Sungu, clearly the strongest one here. Then, from the girl's mouth, he lets out these bizarre, twisted sounds. You are already dead. He hiss. Immediately, a system warning flashes before Sungu's eyes. You have been hit by the curse of the vampire lord. You need holy power to break this affliction. The boss cackles at them. You are all finished. I will hunt each of you down and feast on your organs. But he barely finishes the threat before Sungu kicks him flying. With a single strike, the guy is sent soaring through the air. Afterward, Sungu checks his own hand. Sure enough, the curse marks are spreading. He remembers that Han Ho picked up a 1-star cleric card earlier. Sungu asks if there is any other way to lift this curse. But the kid just tells him you have got absolutely nothing. See, this is the blood tracking skill of a vampire. It reveals the victim's location every 12 hours. Because of this special situation, a special quest pops up. Sungu now has to wipe out these killers hunting for his head. Finish the mission. And he gets 30,000 gold and a C-rank item. Following the punk's lead, the team stumbles upon a shop to trade items. This time, along with the gold, silver, and bronze tiers, there is a platinum rank, but the cost is a massive 100,000 gold. Since the platinum ticket is way too expensive, Sungu settles for a gold one, and believe it or not, he pulls a legendary grade item. It is a master skill upgrade ticket. You get a random skill pushed straight to master level instantly. No special training required, it is a total game changer. Now watch this. Sungu lands a new skill called Holy Ground. It creates a space to hide his disciples and summon them whenever he needs. There is just one catch, though. It only works if the disciples are in perfect, intact condition. His new skill, Holy Sanctuary, it creates a hidden pocket space for all his followers. He can call them out to fight at any time, anywhere. A massive advantage, though there is one catch. This space only works for specific types of units. Sungu's territory is a sacred space designed for total control. It creates an isolated dimension to hide his followers away. And the best part, he can summon them whenever he needs. But this space doesn't work on everyone the way he thought. The disciple's skill is back cooldown time. 1 hour flat. Jizu and Hanho, they both decide to grab a golden ticket too. But things get weird. One guy pulls a medical kit. Someone else? Just some basic armor. Total trash loot. What the hell? Why is the luck so lopsided on the same pull? Some get godly gear. Others get garbage. Life's just unfair like that. Meanwhile, in a dark corner, vampires just cornered a group of survivors. And get this, some of them are students from Sungu's own school. As the vamps get ready to haul them off, the right hand shows up. These vampires are arrogant. They think it's just some new monster. They want to play with their food, mess around a little bit. But they have no idea the right hand is just a trap. Right as the vamps move in, bone spears rip right through them, bodies shredded in an instant. That's the White Bones squad showing up. Sung Ho gives the order, finish them off. Don't leave one standing. Han Ho's jaw drops. The right hand was a low-level imp days ago. Now it's this strong? Unreal. The whole squad gets wiped out fast. Only one vampire is left shivering, begging for his miserable life. He's spilling everything. How many survivors are trapped in that factory? He's even giving up the exact counts and ranks of their forces. The vampire leader is nearby, and he's hit level 5 already. But before he can finish, a spear pierces right through his throat. A survivor kills him, finally getting revenge for all his dead friends. Inside the vampire den, a tense meeting is starting to go down. There are so many survivors locked up in this hellhole. Suddenly, a figure steps out from the shadows. It's him. Sungu finally makes his entrance. The vampires go on high alert. But the prisoners? They're cheering. Some of them actually recognize him. They know he's their only hope. You idiots didn't get the memo from your boss? Your leader never told you who I am? Did you think you could just kill Manager Park and get away with it? Sungu doesn't wait for an answer. He just gives them a cold smirk. Time to test the new skill, Severed Blade. Instantly, the vampire squad gets hit with the death curse effect. Their stats are plummeting, dropping like rocks right in front of him. The prisoners aren't afraid at all, they look happy to be here. Some of them actually recognize Sunggu the second they see him. You didn't get the message from the boss? Your leader didn't tell you? Don't tell me you're the AI. Did you kill the North manager? But Sunggu doesn't even bother to answer their stupid questions. He just gives them a cold, sharp smile that says everything. Then he instantly triggers his new skill, the Raging Blade. Suddenly, the vampires get slammed by the death curse effect. Every single one of their stats starts plummeting into the dirt. Serious now, the army of bone snails starts the charge. They aren't exactly powerhouses, not on the vampire level. But every time one drops, Sunggu just calls them back. The director realizes the truth. They need to take Sunggu down to win this fight, but before he can even close in, Hanho nails him with a bottle. Perfect timing. Jisoo smashes the prison to set everyone free. Outside, the survivors have a getaway car lined up and ready. Seeing that, the director starts spitting venomous curses. He has no clue. Right hand is already closing in behind him. Before he can react, right hand slices off his arm. As the guy lies there dying, the mysterious boss moves in. He enters the director's body and shares a drop of his own blood. His frame swells instantly. Even the severed arm starts growing back. Warning, high-level vampire entering a berserk state. The director is hitting a whole new level of power now. Sunggu's entire crew charges in, but they can't even slow him down. Anyone foolish enough to get close just gets swatted away like a fly. While the director is busy trading blows with the Bone Army, Jisoo moves. She slips behind him, landing a clean surprise attack. Right hand follows up instantly, driving another blade into his back. But even after all that, the director is still standing. Wait for it, if a tiny drop of the boss's blood does this, you and I have to wonder just how terrifying is the boss himself. Suddenly, Sunggu gets a massive combat synergy boost. Bone Wolf Swarm, active speed and power up 10%. And that defense? It just jumped 50%. The director feels the shift immediately. The tide turns in a heartbeat. The wolves pin him to the dirt, tearing into him with mindless fury. Sunggu moves in, driving his bone spear straight through the director's skull. System alert: 10,000 gold collected for the player kill. The dead man is now your minion. Once the soul is bound, Sunggu pulls out the director's scattered memories. Everything shifts. The world fades into a dark, suffocating room, and Sunggu is there, watching it all unfold. Sunggu feels the shift. The demonic wolves are changing. Right now, the tide turns in a heartbeat and he's pinned, crushed against the dirt. They're tearing at him like mad. Desperate, Sunggu grabs his weapon. He drives that bone spear straight through the beast's skull. A system prompt flashes: 10,000 gold coins collected from the kill. But there is a catch. The dead man? He is now your thrall. After summoning the director's soul, Sunggu gets a jagged piece of memory. Suddenly, the world around him warps and shifts. He is standing in a pitch-black room, watching the director as the party wraps up. Cold and calculating, the room shifts, seen through the eyes of the director. A vampire in a hat and glasses is interrogating everyone. He asks what the core of this game really is. Any takers? Truth is, he doesn't even know what's going on. But he knows his next move. We need to evolve every supernatural entity and cosmic creature. Even the AI isn't off limits. We've been handed a rare opportunity. Humanity has finally hit its limit. It's time to purge this pathetic race. We will evolve into something else entirely and open up a new world. Right then, Sunggu realizes the truth. This guy is the vampire lord. The lord speaks: I have a mission, and you all will complete it with me. Of course. They shout back: my lord, please, entrust it to us. What is with this strange, fanatical intensity? Sungyu feels it. They've all been brainwashed by the lord. Maybe this is why their organization got this strong in just a few days. Now watch this, the game is about to change. We hold a celebration party. Hwasong is our first target. Invite all the neighbors to join the fun. This is the moment the vampires start the hunt. Suddenly, Sung Yu gets a hidden quest. It popped up before, back when the professor was murdered by the leader. The mission: stop the vampire massacre. The reward? A mystery skill. Something completely unknown. Meanwhile, in another location, the vampire lord finds out his branch manager was taken out by Sung Yu. How could he kill a manager with just those weak skeletons? As long as we use the curse to track him once the party ends, I really want to see exactly what kind of person he is. The next morning, Sung Ho reveals the plan to everyone. he exposes the vampire massacre scheduled for Hwasong, deep inside the vampire lair. The group finds some useful gear. Han Ho grabs a multi-purpose charger. It can power up any device. Fast. Charging a phone takes barely 10 minutes to get a full battery. And, nearby, Jisoo manages to find something else. I really wanted to see what kind of person he actually was. The next morning, Sung-ho reveals the truth to the entire group. He lays out the full, bloody massacre plot planned by the vampires. The team storms the vampire lair, hunting for anything they can use. Han-ho gets lucky. He spots a strange, multifunctional power block. It can juice up any device and fast 10 minutes for a full charge. Meanwhile, Jisoo digs through the rubble and finds something else. It is a portable power bank, capable of fueling up other devices. Charging a phone takes just over 10 minutes, and once that time hits, the battery is full. Meanwhile, Jisoo finds something important. This mid-tier potion is a total game-changer, cures infections and heals wounds fast. Seeing it work, Goldie and the bike gang finally bow their heads to Sunggu. They are actually thanking him for wiping out the vampires who oppressed them all. Sunggu just waves it off. No need to thank me, he says, eyes sharp. You guys will have plenty of work to do for me later on anyway. Then he turns to Han Ho's dad, telling him it is finally time to start. The old man is buzzing with excitement, nearly shaking at the thought of it. At last, he can unleash that mysterious power he has been hiding this whole time. He activates the pioneer camp, and a massive magnetic shield flares into existence. Anyone inside that field gets a massive boost to their recovery speed. Just like that, as the manager, he can lock the gates and set strict access limits whenever. Plus, Han Ho's mom is a one-star chef. Her food is a major buff. Everyone eating her meals gets a huge surge in stamina and heals up instantly. Just then, a massive, glowing notification window blinks into existence right before Sunggu. A major alert and event is kicking off in exactly 7 days. Any movement toward the combat zone is strictly banned until the timer hits 0. Get this, any gold collected during the event gets doubled for the players. The second place player even gets a rare chance to claim a powerful new card. And watch out, because 4 massive boss monsters are spawning in the area. These beasts drop legendary loot that you absolutely cannot find in any shop. Sunggu knows he cannot let those vampires keep scamming survivors out there. He hops onto the survival app and drops a warning post for everyone to see. Pretty soon, the comment section turns into a complete war zone of its own. Half the people think he is just a keyboard warrior trying to act tough. But the other half? They agree it is way too dangerous to trust strangers. These days, bases are ignoring the government and building their own private communities. When global order crumbles, that is when the real ambition starts to show. A bit later, the transport vehicle rolls to a stop right in front of them. The group steps out, looking at a brand new, high-level hunting ground. And things just got tougher. A new breed of monsters has appeared here. They have fire-based skills, which means they can blast players from long range. Comments are blowing up, totally split down the middle. Half think Sunggu is just acting all dangerous for the clout. The other half? They are with him on not trusting anyone. Seriously, being careful is the only way to stay alive here. Now, the bases are done playing by the government rules. They are splitting off, building their own little communities. When world order crumbles, that is when the real ambition shows. Everyone is ready to grab whatever they can get. A moment later, the transport vehicle rolls to a stop, right in front of our group. A new hunting ground. This is it, a totally fresh area to clear out. But get this, these monsters have a brand new trick. They have fire-based abilities, and they are brutal. They can shred players from way out at long range. But these guys are nothing compared to the White Bone Squad. They are on a whole different level of lethal, and just like that, the rest of the monsters get slaughtered. Not a single one left standing after the party finished them. Turns out these creatures belong to the goblin species. They're not too dangerous alone, but their magic damage really stings. The main goal of this hunt is for Han Ho to level up. He needs to unlock new power, and the team moves out fast. They step into the supermarket and a warning pops up. It tells them they've entered the Kobo Fortress. The exit is sealed by magic. They have to find a way out. Suddenly, the ground beneath them starts to glow bright. A magic circle flares up right under their feet. Light blinds them, and in a flash, Han Ho disappears. He wakes up in a strange room, completely alone. Surrounding him, a pack of Kobos is staring him down. Surprisingly, Hanho can actually understand them talking. One of them hisses that the human stepped into the trap, since he is alone. They think he's easy prey. Hearing that, Hanho finally realizes he has been separated. Where did everyone go? He wonders, feeling the cold isolation. Seeing an opening, the Kobo pack immediately lunges for him. They strike fast, and Hanho gets stabbed dozens of times. He starts panicking, thinking this is his final goodbye. Sorry, Mom and Dad. He thinks. I'm heading out first. He shouldn't have followed the seniors into this dungeon. But wait, why does he feel absolutely nothing? It's bizarre. He shouldn't be alive after those hits. Then it clicks, he just unlocked a 10-second shield skill. To sure, it's useless against mid-tier monsters. But for low levels, it is basically an impenetrable wall of defense. Oh, you guys are in for it now. He realizes, you think you can just stab me and get away with it. Meanwhile, Jisoo and the spearmen rush in to save him. They stop dead in their tracks. Completely stunned, they see the entire room filled with defeated monsters. Tell me you didn't just clear this whole place alone. Hanho just grins. Told you this new skill is legit. Honestly, these weaklings never stood a chance against me. But what about Sungu? He's still all alone out there. Don't even worry about that. He tells the seniors. The only ones who need to be worried are the monsters. After clearing the room, they press forward deeper inside. Sungu spots someone lying ahead. A guy badly hurt. His wounds are so deep. Even divine medicine might not work. Healing it now? Pretty much impossible. His breathing was incredibly faint. But he kept gesturing toward the shelf. A box sat up there. Sungu hurried over and reached up to grab it. Inside sat an egg, no rank. No known effects. Completely unidentified. In his final moments, the man gasped out a few broken, frantic words. The boss monster had stolen the object code the item meant to identify its master. Then, his body went still. He'd finally breathed his last from those deep wounds. Sungu realized the man was a 5-star dragon knight. What a tragic waste. He must have triggered a trap while scavenging for supplies in the supermarket. That object code was definitely taken by the boss. It's a total shame. Dragon Knight is a job with insane explosive potential down the line. Even without official info, Sungu was certain this had to be a dragon egg. Since you held onto this even while dying, trying to hand it off, he thought, then, consider it done. I'll make sure to end this damn game for good. Congratulations, you earned 150 gold for hunting Kobo. Congratulations, you collected 800 gold for hunting the Kobo mage. After wiping out that pack, Sungu leveled up and snagged a new skill. It's called Corpse Explosion. You can turn any dead body into a living bomb. Any monster stupid enough to rush him gets blown to bits instantly. Sungu tore straight into the Kobo lair, carving through them like butter. With just one clean strike, multiple monsters went down in a single heartbeat. Even the Kobo mages stood no chance. One sword swing was all it took. Good work, Taeyang. He actually gave his subordinate a little praise. Warning: high-level kobold mage boss has just spawned in the area. It's protected by a solid barrier. Most attacks won't even leave a scratch. You need to shatter the energy cores scattered throughout this dungeon floor. Watch out. The boss is casting a death spell right now. Anyone under level 10 in this dungeon, they'll die the moment it hits. You have to stop that cast, and you're already running out of time. Sungu didn't hesitate. He barked an order for his summons to gather up. In a flash, they grabbed the Kobo corpses and piled them under the boss. A few kobolds have already gone down. And these aren't just fodder, even for a mage-class beast. Tae-Fi can take one out with a single slash. Done. Good work, Tae-Fi. I've got to give you some credit for that one. Warning: a high-level kobold mage boss has appeared. It's currently protected by a solid barrier. Most attacks won't even leave a scratch on that thing. You need to shatter the cores scattered all across this dungeon floor. Watch your step. Warning: the boss is casting an instant death spell. Any player below level 10 inside this dungeon, they're dead the second it hits. You have to stop it, and you're running out of time. Seeing this, Sungu immediately orders his squad to group up. Without hesitation, they start piling the kobold corpses right under the boss. The beast starts sensing something is definitely wrong here. That human over there, just what are you planning to do? Thanks for waiting for me. To boss. Now, say your final goodbye. Sungu fires off his corpse explosion skill right in its face. The boss gets swallowed up in a massive, blinding sea of fire. But somehow, The explosion didn't even phase it. Turns out, the boss has a resurrection skill protecting it. The instant death spell is still ticking away, only 25 minutes left. Sunggu realizes he needs a new plan to break that cursed barrier. He has to track down and destroy the 3 main dungeon cores. You've successfully destroyed 1 dungeon core. 19 minutes and 27 seconds remaining on the clock. Sunggu starts soul summoning the dead kobolds. He needs to dig through their memories for the truth. Just like that, he finds the location of the second core. It's tucked away in the first floor control room. You've successfully destroyed 2 dungeon cores. Only 16 minutes and 18 seconds left now. While Sunggu is searching for the final core, he stumbles onto a wild scene. Hanho is busy piling up kobold corpses just like them. Sunggu and Tae-Fi can't even believe their own eyes. They have to rub them twice just to make sure they aren't hallucinating. Why is this guy suddenly acting so brokenly overpowered? After the whole group links up, the pressure is really on. The instant death spell timer is down to just over 13 minutes. Everyone in the party starts working together. They're clearing a path, buying every second they can for Sunggu and Tae-Fi. Over 10 minutes have ticked by. The pressure is mounting. The team finally joins forces. Syncing up, they are clearing a path for Sunggu and his right-hand man. Sunggu spots the opening. He knows exactly what to do. He locks into position a human launch pad for his partner. With one massive leap, the blade swings true. A clean cut. The core splits in 2. Every single dungeon core shattered. The death curse is broken. Zhao Zhen finally falls. The barrier is down. Now that the boss has lost its immortality, you are done for. The whole party rushes down to the basement. It is payback time. But wait, this is about to get messy. Look at that thing. Roots are exploding out of the creature's mouth. The boss is shifting, transforming into something entirely new. Meet the true plant monster. A nightmare made of wood and vine, since it is basically just a giant tree. Jisoo makes her move. She lunges with her fire blade. A direct hit. Sunggu follows up with an explosive corpse blast. Total carnage. But look at that, it is healing instantly. The regeneration speed is insane. Their attacks are not even scratching it. Sunggu's skeleton squad is taking heavy damage. They are dropping fast. The monster is burning through its mana. It is desperate. It is forced to burn its own life force to keep going. That is the opening Sunggu needs. He activates the Blood Demon Stone. This is the devil effect. Every hit drains 2% of its mana. It is a brutal trade. Once the mana hits 0, it starts eating health. The monster is draining itself dry. And it cannot stop. The system message pops up. The hunt is finally over. 12,840 gold. A massive payout for this kill, and better yet, congratulations. Sunggu. Level 10 reached. A rare item draw ticket as a bonus. You earned it. 69th player in history to hit this milestone. That is no small feat. He is climbing the ranks fast. And with the level up, a brand new skill unlocks. Call of the Dead. This changes everything. He can summon 10 zombies straight from the underworld. No size limits on these things. They are pure chaos. They only last for 10 minutes. Though, then they turn to dust. A 30-minute cooldown. He has to use them wisely. While digging through the wreckage, he finds something buried deep. The Dragon Knight's sword. The warrior's legacy he mentioned before dying. A nameless blade. Its true rank is still unknown, but check those stats: a permanent +6 to strength. Before him, a nameless, ownerless sword. And its rank? Completely unknown. It packs a real punch. 2 + 6 to every single power stat. This sword right here, it's the key to waking the dragon egg. But there is a problem. Your job class isn't a knight. Stats will climb 10% once you hit bloodlust mode. Dragon eggs aren't just handed out. To actually own one? Forget it. You have to incubate the thing for 5,000 days straight. Every time your blade tastes the blood of a powerful enemy, the egg senses your strength and speeds up the hatching process. 5,000 days, that is over 13 years of waiting. By the time this thing actually hatches, everyone might be dead. Plus, you have to take down high-level monsters to earn its respect. It is a brutal grind. But at least this sword is +6. With those stat boosts, it is actually pretty decent for now. Just then, Sunggu's phone buzzes with a new incoming message. The blonde guy just sent an update on his current location. Right now, he is hanging out at the Flower Plaza. Over 100 people are gathered there. But no vampires yet. Turns out, Sunggu already set a trap for those bloodsuckers. He ordered the biker gang to chase them down early on. That was just a lure to drag them deeper into his territory. He sneaks into the safe zone, keeping a close eye on the survivors while scouting the monster lair. Sungu stumbles on something unexpected: 2 dead wolves lying there, and he knows exactly what to do. He taps into his soul-calling arts, raising them back to serve him. Just like that, his skeletal wolf pack grows even stronger. Now, with 5 of these bone beasts, he's ready for anything. He heads straight for the plaza. Time to see how these vampires handle this. It's endgame for them. And he's the one holding the cards. Night falls, and the survivors are still waiting for their manager to show up. They're clueless. They have no idea what's actually waiting for them. In the eyes of these vampires, these people aren't survivors. They're just fresh meals set out on a dinner table. Get ready. The leader hisses. The feast is officially starting. Everyone scrambles, hungry for the hunt that's about to begin. Wait. Aren't we going after that guy who trashed the factory? Using their blood tracking skill, the vampires lock onto his position. They sense Sungu nearby, lurking somewhere in the shadows. We need to kill him before he ruins the boss's big night. It's an order from the top. Leave nothing of him behind. Not a single bone left intact. They growl, eyes burning with intent. A pack of vampires surges forward, hunting for his blood. They trace his trail straight to the school, moving in fast. In the parking lot, they find the fresh corpse of a wolf. The blood is still warm. It's a trail leading straight to the hall. Thinking they've got him cornered, the vampires storm the building. Their leader is arrogant, fully confident in his own twisted strength. He believes he can take down 2 wolves without breaking a sweat. But then, the 2 sides finally collide in the grand hall. The moment they see the vampires, Sungu and his pack turn to run. The vampires grin, thinking he's finally showing a hint of fear. They rush in, eager to finish it, falling right into his trap. This was the plan all along: lure them deeper into the maze. By the time they realize they've been played, it's far too late. Sungu unleashes his hellish zombie summoning skill, catching them completely off guard. Chaos erupts, and vampire after vampire falls to his undead horde. 2,000 gold pings in his head. Another player taken down. He signals his skeletal squad, and they plunge straight into the fray. By the time the vampires realized it, it was already too late. Sungu hits them with his hellish zombie summon skill. Caught off guard, the vampire faction takes heavy losses immediately. System message: you just earned 2,000 gold for that kill. His right-hand man leads the bone squad straight into the fray. One screams out, "You bastard! The Lord will kill you for this." But that rage does not save them from their fate. Congrats. You just earned 20,000 gold for killing a special player. Fighting the undead vampires, their power levels tank instantly, thanks to that combo effect. One of them actually thinks taking down Sungu will end this whole mess. But get this, anyone foolish enough to get close gets blown to bits. The suicide bomber zombies handle the messy work, leaving Sungu to keep his distance. Sungu just flicks his wrist, swings his sword, and ends them without breaking a sweat. Pretty easy work for such a high reward. The vampires are totally wiped out now, leaving only their captain to hold the line. This guy is a beast. Even the hell zombies can barely put a scratch on him. Watching Sungu just sit there, commanding his army without lifting a finger, that's clearly driving the captain up the wall. He's locked in. He's going to take Sungu down, no matter the cost. Rewind to 2 hours ago. Sungu and his crew were plotting their next move. You go there, you head over here, and you just stay put. Easy enough, right? Now, set off that corpse explosion. What are you doing? I said blow it up. Why are you just standing there with that blank look on your face? Ah. Right. I keep forgetting you're made of bone, not flesh. No explosion for you. Back to the present. As the captain lunges, Sungu summons nearby zombies. Since they're corpses, they're perfectly primed to trigger the corpse explosion effect. The captain is caught off guard. He doesn't stand a chance. He takes the full hit and goes down. Instantly, the bone demonic wolf pounces, tearing both his legs clean off. He's screaming, swearing the Lord will avenge them all. But it's over. System notification: 20,000 gold for killing a special player. That egg? Yeah. It'll hatch in 4,949 days. Sungu starts summoning the fallen vampires, turning them into his own undead disciples. Pay attention here, the combo effect activates. 5 vampires. Check. Blood drain effect enabled. Plus, a 2% boost to strength, and when they hit that bloodthirsty state, all stats jump by 10%. The Bone Squad just hit a whole new level of power. Looks like the feast is about to get started on the other side. And the vampire minions? They're already making their move. Only 4,949 days left until the egg hatches. Some of those fallen vampires are now Sungu's own summoned thralls. Watch this. The synergy effect is kicking in right now. With 5 vampires active, he gains the blood drain effect. His strength stats get a 2% boost across the board. Everything spikes by 10% once he enters the bloodlust state. The Bone Squad's power level just hit a whole new tier. Meanwhile, it looks like that banquet is about to start, and the Vampire Lord's minions are already making their move. The White Bone Squad just leveled up their combat game. They are stronger than ever now. Over on this side, looks like the feast is about to get underway. Those lackeys working for the demons, the vampires, start seizing weapons from all the survivors. On the surface, they claim it is for base safety, for order, they say. But the real motive? They want everyone's defense lowered to absolute rock bottom. Jisoo, those 2 swords of yours are already hidden away. We tucked them exactly where you asked us to, since we have a rogue in the group. That was easy. Next one in line. Don't even try to hide your gear. If we search you, we will find it all anyway. Just then, a group of people in masks walk out. Han-Ho and Jisoo recognize them in a heartbeat. Those are vampires, using masks to hide their fangs. Their weapons are stashed away, just like the plan. Now they only need Sungu to arrive to make their move. That vampire lord will answer for every single crime. The blood-soaked nightmare he created ends here. He is going to pay for all of this. That wraps up part 1 of this story. The Lone Soul Slayer. If you enjoyed this video, show some love with a like. See you all in the next one. Stay safe.